Hello, and today I'm going to go over the 80 carry roll because that's the one that I main in Platinum 5 currently, and I will be carrying my way to Diamond with. So, I want to tell you guys about something that I've learned over time when it comes to League of Legends and playing 80 carry. Some of the key features to playing 80, they're actually very simple. You know, for this video I'm just going to talk about the laning phase. I'm not going to go too in-depth in team fight phase because I need to still get some videos for that specific instance where, you know, I get some good team fight footage to show you guys, you know, exactly what I do or what I would do in a situation and what you could try to do, you know. But let me start off by saying that one of the most important things for an 80 carry to learn is CSing efficiently. Now what I mean by this is, you know, you can get every last hit and, you know, that's really good, but at the same time you have to really understand your champion to be able to CS efficiently. Now to do this, it requires you to use mana, a renewable resource. Now if you look and compare and contrast between CS and mana, you'll realize one key fact, and that is mana is renewable. CS is not. There is a set amount of CS that Riot put into the game that comes to a lane every minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes by, you know, the 10-minute mark. You should have, I think, around it's I believe correctly that it's 80 CS by 10 minutes. And, you know, if you can CS, that's, you know, CS that well already, that's a good start. Or if you can even get like 50 by, you know, 10 minutes, that's a good start for you bronze and silver players and some of you gold players, you know. But what you really need to do is you need to use your abilities to gain the CS. You need to use by any means possible to get that CS. You need to do it because it's imperative that you have the money to scale well into late game so that you can carry your team. And if that requires you taking the jungler's farm, I personally am very guilty of this. I do it. I'm a selfish person. Which, in the next video, I'll tell you about something called the I factor. It's, to give you guys a little bit of information on that, something called the I factor. It's essentially selfishness. But we'll get into that in the next video. So, after learning to CS efficiently with your skills and learning that and understanding that mana is renewable and CS is not, you have to learn to control the lane, or lane control. It's essentially knowing when to harass your opponent and when to not, when to get a CS and when to back off. If you're, say for example, pushed up to their tower and there's 3 or 4 CS that you could potentially get, but there's a high risk that you haven't seen their jungler in a long time, it's better to not risk it for the 3 CS and give your enemy a advantage than it is to just back and buy. You know, and at lower ELOs, the risk of them not last hitting properly a tower is a little bit higher than it would be in Platinum, Diamond, Challenger, obviously. By that point, you know, everybody's got it all mastered and everybody knows how to do it properly. You're going to get situations where you're kind of just playing the game and there is no opportunities you can really harass or anything because they could have like a really aggressive lane and a really aggressive jungler that's just kind of camping bottom. That's where something called being patient comes into mind. And I've seen a lot of players, oh boy have I seen a lot of players out of my 500 ranked games in Season 3 that they are not patient at all. And patience is a virtue, as they say, and it is it's an incredible factor in a laning phase because some people, you can tell they want to go for kills, but it costs them so much. Not only do they lose CS, but the potential to get ganked is even higher. So as long as you know the supports are warding and counter warding properly, you know, you will get good ganks off. You will be successful in your bottom lane as long as you are patient. Wait for your jungler to put more pressure on bottom lane. I mean, I would even go as far as to ask for help. Remember, be selfish. Use all of your abilities. If that gank goes off and you know you can get a kill, use all your abilities to get it because you are the one that's going to be carrying late game. Not the jungler, not the support, I hope. But that's essentially what I've been thinking so far. What I've come to the conclusion, I should say. Like, for me, playing as many ranked games as I have, and I've climbed from 1263 ELO, but it doesn't matter, your ELO bracket. It's true where they say that some players don't belong in certain ELOs. I also didn't think I belonged in, bronze and silver, and I didn't think I belonged there. And honestly, it turned out that I didn't. As long as you practice these three main things in a lane, you will be successful. Lane control. Alright, to go through this again, sorry. CS efficiently. That means you have to get as many CS as you possibly can. Lane control. If you can be aggressive to grab a kill, do it. Do everything in your power to do it. Make sure your support is on board with you, however, because you don't want to be 2v1 on bottom lane and your support just, messing around in bottom bush, just doing absolutely nothing, Be patient. Wait for you. If you're having too much pressure being put on bottom by the enemy jungler, or the enemy team is just a little bit better than you guys, be patient. Wait for your jungler to come down and assist you guys with a lane gank, or maybe like a river gank, or a teleport gank, from your middle or your top, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as somebody can help you, then just take it and try to get the kill. Because that'll put you ahead of their enemy, the enemy AD carry, and you'll be set for late game if you do. So those are the three things I kind of wanted to tell you guys about, But let's get into more along the lines of AD carries, like the best AD carries that I feel are strong picks currently in 3.9 patch 3.9, which is the Udyr patch, like the Udyr skin patch, the Spirit Udyr. I would say Caitlyn, Vayne, and Varus. Varus, I don't know how to say his name, but Caitlyn is essentially probably the lane, like, she dominates every single lane early game. Draven fell off. I would have said Draven, but Draven's passive got completely nerfed. It's useless. I honestly, I would not say that Draven is the best AD carry anymore for like solo queue. He's definitely, there's better picks now. For example, I'll give you Caitlyn. Her range is really strong. Her harass is extremely strong. You kind of want to play an aggressive support with her, one that buffs her AD a little bit. What I tend to do with Caitlyn is I tend to CS really well. I tend to almost CS perfectly. There's no reason not to get every CS with Caitlyn. She has the highest range early in the game. She outranges Kog'Maw's W key. She outranges Tristana's until she hits level 18, or around like 16 or 17 or 18. She outranges Tristana. She has a natural steroid on her auto attack, which I believe it's every 8 shots. And you get 2 stacks per shot in a bush. So if you're in a bush and you have massive attack speed, you're just going to let loose on somebody, critting them for like 1200 damage at, late game. So, she's a really strong champion. She has strong early game laning phase. She has strong potential for team fight if you know how to properly, place yourself in a team fight away from assassins. She got a strong ultimate that can hit anywhere between, like 800 to 1500 damage late game on a the enemy AD carry, or even potentially the AP carry, depending on if they go Zanya's or not for the armor buff. She's just an overall strong pick. I wouldn't say she's god tier. I don't think there's any AD carries that are god tier right now, other than maybe Vayne, which gets into the next AD carry that I believe is extremely strong. Vayne is by far probably the most aggressive, aggressive AD carry once you hit level 6. She outtrades anybody at level 6 because of her R key buff. It gives 25 damage. Plus, it is essentially the end-all be-all of AD carries. Like, if she gets fed, middle to late game, you will be unstoppable as long as you have mechanics. If you are mechanically well off, then you will do well with Vayne. If you're good with reactions and doing what you need to do to dodge skill shots and stuff, Vayne is definitely your choice. Vayne, she's my main now simply because you can carry a game 1v5. Like, you can 2-shot AD carry, AP carries if you're fed enough. You can essentially kill tanks in a matter of 2-3 seconds if they're on top of you. There's honestly nothing that Vayne can't do. The only honest weakness I believe that she has is would be assassins. 2 assassin lanes. One middle, 1 top assassin is going to probably shut down a Vayne lane pretty hard. Like a Kha'Zix middle or something cheesy like a Zed middle or something like that is definitely going to shut down a Vayne lane. You know, Nautilus is actually very good against Vayne too, so you know, just watch out for that. And the last AD champion that I think is really strong in solo queue right now is Varus. Varus has a super high burst, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. It doesn't matter. He has extremely high burst for an AD carry. His Q key, if you proc it on somebody with 3 stacks, it does some ridiculous percentage, which I can't remember right now, and forgive me for not having all the information in front of me and researched. You know, it's 3:40 a.m. where I live right now, and I'm trying to do this kind of for you guys, and hopefully you guys are learning a little bit about AD carries. And yeah, but Varus is by far one of the best team fight champions in this game right now because of his R key. His R key can literally lock down an entire team, and it's great for countering assassins. His high burst potential, coupled with his R key and kite ability, and just the percentage damage, it makes him one of the better AD carries to play. 3 shots. All right, say you're at level 6. What you want to do is you want to open up with an R key. You want to auto attack 2 to 3 times, hit your E key, auto attack 2 to 3 times, hit your Q key. It doesn't matter if you hold your Q key down. Obviously, if you hold it down, it does a lot more damage. I think it's like 300-400 damage added on with like a 12% health debuff when it procs the 3 stacks of your W key, and it does a massive amount of damage. Like you almost cannot lose with a Varus and maybe like a Leona lane or like a Thresh lane. It's almost impossible to lose. Like I said, the only one that really beats Varus or Caitlyn at level 6 is probably going to be Vayne. I really feel like Vayne's the strongest AD right now. But yeah, so that's basically my opinion on like AD carries. Like what's like the kind of like the strongest ADs right now. But you know, the next video is going to go into detail of like laning phase and like after laning phase, like what you should do in team fight phase, what you should do to secure your victories in your games. And you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like the content that I'm putting out, you know, subscribe and come back for more, you know, later. That's all I can really say. But I appreciate the support, and thank you guys for watching.